Now, Zach Railey from obviously sailing for the United States, as we've been talking to him. Now, just to give me, give the listeners a little bit of an idea, the amount of work that's had to gone into something like this. I'm sure you've had to put a lot of time and effort into it, and really sailing. Like you mentioned, you're kind of on your own. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you really have to do on your own. A lot of craftsmanship that you've had to do on your own. It's not even like basketball where you just get a few kids together and you play basketball. I mean, this is something you've had to work on very hard for throughout most of your life. And just give the listeners a little bit of an idea of what kind of work effort has to go in, not just for the races, but the other stuff that you have to do, the kind of the behind the scenes that prepares you to be able to, represent your country in the United States in the Olympics and heading to China.
Right, yeah. I mean, the first thing that we have to do, of course, is we spend a tremendous amount of time on the water. We do about 4 or 5 days a week on the water, up to about 5 hours a day on the water. And then we also do our cardio and weightlifting sessions in the gym that take about 2 to 3 hours, cardio for about an hour in the morning, and then the gym session, hour and a half to 2 hours at nighttime. So that it's really a full-time job, just the training itself. But the off-the-water thing is our logistics of getting the boats around and traveling around the world. Whereas with, like you said, basketball, you take your basketball, you strap on your shoes, and, you can find a court anywhere around the world. And with sailing, we have to send our boats all around the world. So for people that see big container ships when they're leaving and you see the big 40-foot containers, we actually load our boats into those containers and ship them around to the different venues that we're sailing in. So most of the athletes on the U.S. sailing team have 2 boats. There's one boat where we may be competing in Holland, and our second boat is on a ship or on a trailer traveling to the next spot where we're going to compete. So there's many times where I may be in Holland and my boat is in the middle of the Atlantic going across to, from Miami over to Spain, and then I go down to Spain and sail there, and my boat in Holland gets onto a ship and then gets shipped to China. So when I end up in China, my boat's there. So the logistical, logistics of trying to get everything done is very tough. And of course, the fundraising to be able to do this. The United States Olympic Committee and of course U.S. Sailing helps to supply funding to the athletes, and they do a tremendous job, and our sponsors do a tremendous job in helping us. But U.S. Sailing believes in the philosophy that they want to have the athletes responsible for some of their funding, so that we have a responsibility in making sure that we train and that we're not getting a free ride to go to the games, and make sure that it keeps us working hard. So I actually get 50% of my expenses covered each year. And then the other 50% I raise through tax-deductible donations and fundraisers and silent auctions and giving speeches and going around and promoting myself and promoting what I do and promoting the Olympics. And at the end of the day, there's 24 hours in each day, and you got to sleep a little bit so you can recharge the body. There's not a whole lot of time left for anything else. So this is my life. And, everyone else on the team, it's their lives. And we're completely 100% dedicated to it, and our families are 100% dedicated to it, and you have to have a great support system. My family is fantastic, and U.S. Sailing, the United States Olympic Committee, everybody, all my sponsors and people who have helped and donated money, it's all one dream that we're all realizing now. So it's great that everything's kind of come to fruition, and we're going to the Olympics.
And just to wrap up, and obviously listening to 98.7 The Coast, Denis Brown here, Zach Railey joining us from the United States Olympic sailing team. And Zach, just kind of to wrap it up, you were talking about, obviously, all the hard work. This is a dream you've had for so long. It's something that, you're finally realizing. I mean, have you just taken a few minutes out to think about, holy, I'm going to the Olympics? I mean, does that ever kind kind of sink in with you? I mean, you just sit there and you're like, wow. I mean, because that's something that I think a lot of us think, hey, that'd be pretty cool. But I mean, I think to actually experience that, to be a part of, maybe be a part of the opening ceremonies or not, or just no matter what, just to be out there and be a part, representing the United States with the colors and all that, and maybe you get lucky enough to have a medal, be on the stand and all that. I mean, that's got to be pretty just, there's really no words I would almost think to describe that.
No, I mean, it's a dream come true, and it's an honor to be able to do it and to represent the United States. And I think, it's starting to sink in. I mean, it didn't sink in for a while, but I think what'll happen is when it really hits you, and I've talked to previous Olympians who have been in it, and it really hits you actually once you get there and the games start. And, with sailing, we get a huge American flag on our sail, and we get our names on the sail and names on the side of the boat and the Olympic rings everywhere. And I think once the opening ceremony starts and you get into the racing and, you realize that you're there and you're realizing your dream. And a lot of the past athletes just say that, you're so focused on racing and being there that you really should step back after your competition and enjoy it and enjoy being at the Olympics. And I've taken that advice to heart, and I'm actually going to go, once my competition gets done on the 16th, I'm going to stay through the closing ceremonies at the Olympics and go around to the different events and, cheer on the other American athletes and watch them compete and really enjoy the experience, because it could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me. Hopefully I'll be able to go again in 2012, and looking forward to doing another 4 years after this. But you gotta take it for everything that you possibly can, because you never know what's going to happen. You may not be there again.
Well, we thank you, Zach, for giving us some time. Zach Railey of the United States sailing team. You'll be heading over to China to represent our country, the United States of America. And we thank you for giving us some time. And I would hope to maybe check in with you before you reach China and kind of follow up, see how everything's going with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be glad to do that. Thank you very much for having me, Denis.
And also, you do have a website. Why don't you get that out there too, so people can check you out if they want to, get some more information about you?
Yeah. We've actually got two great websites. The first one is a website updating where I'm at in the country and the different competitions I'm sailing in, and that website is zachraley.com. It's ZACHRAILEY.com. And the second website is a local website for actually down in Florida, and for some sponsors and people that are trying to help the effort, and that's Zach to China, ZACH, and then and China.com. So you guys can check those out and sign up for the newsletters and look at the different videos and everything that we have on there, and stay up to date on the progress and everything on the way to the Olympics.
Okay, and we'll check in with you down the road. Thanks again. Once again, that's Zach Railey from the United States Olympic team, sailing-wise, and we thank you for giving us a couple minutes, Zach.
All right, thank you very much, Denis.
Take care.